Hey, what's up guys? A couple of days ago, I put out a picture on my Instagram story asking you guys to ask me some of your best volleyball questions. These are some of the best questions I got and the answers I have to give to you guys. Let's get right into it. First question I got was from Walter, and he said, what is something that you miss about high school? When it comes from a volleyball standpoint, it was definitely my volleyball team. During the 3 years that I was on varsity, I was able to create friendships with some of my teammates that would last a lifetime. Plus, my senior year, we did win a state championship. We went undefeated, and that was a really cool memory. All right, next up, we got M4RYY. They asked, what's your favorite position in volleyball? So my personal preference would definitely be setter. It's the position that I played the most and something that I really enjoy doing. As a setter, I know that my role is to distribute the ball and make my teammates successful, and that's what I love about it. My second favorite position would be right side. Because I'm a lefty, it's the position that I'm naturally the most comfortable with when it comes to hitting. So yeah, those are what I would say are my 1 and 2 favorite positions in volleyball. All right, next up we got Kaya. Kaya asked, how long have you been playing volleyball for? I've been playing volleyball for 6 years now. I started when I was in 7th grade, and I've been playing all the way up until now, which I am now a freshman in college. It's been a heck of a journey, and I'll say that throughout the years, I found myself getting so much better, and from where I started, I'm not even close to the same player that I am now. All right, our next question up asks, what do you eat before and after sport? And I'm assuming the sport means volleyball. Before a competition, I like to keep it light. I don't really eat too much, maybe just a granola bar and some yogurt would probably be my go-to. But after the competition and tournament day is done, I go to town. Whatever is in the area, I will eat, and I will eat a lot of it. After I'm done playing, I know that my body's gonna need nourishment, and it's my job to get that done. I really like this question. Josiah asked, what's your favorite volleyball shoe for the court? In my personal opinion, I'm not a huge fan of volleyball shoes. I feel like basketball shoes are a much better alternative for volleyball players. With that in mind, the Kyrie fly traps are my go-to. During my last travel volleyball season, I was rocking them in lime green, and right now, I'm currently rocking them in all white. These ones right here. Next question comes from Brogan, and she asked, do you play for a club? If so, what club? That's a great question. I used to play for Academy of Long Island, which was a club based in New York. I played there for about 5 to 6 years, and before that, I played 1 season with a club named LIVBC. All right, our next question comes from Anna, and she asked, how many times per week do you have practice? This is a very good question, and it really depends on what season we're in. If we're in season, that's probably going to be every day, Monday through Saturday. But in the off season, it's probably going to be only a couple times a week with maybe some workouts thrown in to help me get stronger. Right now, for my college team, I'm in what you could call a fall ball season. And coming up, we're going to have a play date, which is pretty much going to be a volleyball tournament with 10 teams in it. I'm probably going to keep you guys posted with clips from that tournament, and I'll let you know how it went. Right, next up, our question comes from Nikki, and she asks, what made you start playing volleyball? I gotta say, when it comes to this question, I have to thank my parents and my first volleyball coach, Coach Sturritz. Both of these people were super influential in getting me into volleyball. At first, when I was in 7th grade and my parents told me I should try out for the middle school team, I was a little uneasy about it. But they reassured me that I would like it, and boy were they right. And when I made the middle school team, Coach Sturritz helped me fall in love with the game. And yeah, I've been playing it to this day. This is a great question. R. Harry asked, what was your motivation to join volleyball? Now at the time, I probably wasn't sure. I was just looking for a sport to play. But my motivation now is so much more clear than it was before. With the platform that I've been blessed to have on social media, my motivation is to get as many people into the volleyball community as possible. As a volleyball community, we're not the biggest, and we're definitely not one of the most popular sports. However, I believe that creating awesome volleyball content and showing the people out there how cool our sport is, I have an opportunity to grow this community and see it thrive. So yeah, that's definitely my motivation for playing. All right, our next question asks, what sports did you play other than volleyball? Before I started playing volleyball, I was into basketball and soccer. Now, I wasn't too good at either of these, but I did play them for most of my elementary years. Once I got into 7th grade, however, I made the switch over to volleyball, and I never looked back. I also was a cross-country runner at one point, but those were the dark years, and we don't need to talk about that. All right, our next question comes from Eli, and Eli asks, what kind of Asian are you? That's funny wording, but my ethnicity would be South Korean. My mother was originally from South Korea, and that's where I get my ethnicity from. This is a great question, and it comes from Santi. Santi asks, how do you get off nerves before a match? I will say, for the longest time, this has been a struggle of mine when it came to volleyball. I loved playing the sport more than anything else, but sometimes I just couldn't shake off the nerves before hopping on the volleyball court. Honestly, I found freedom from my nerves when I reminded myself of the reason I started playing volleyball in the first place. It's because it's the sport that I love, and that's all I want it to be. So yeah, there's always going to be that pressure of performing when you step on the volleyball court, but just remember why you do it. It's because you love it, and if you don't do it for that reason, then maybe you should take a break, because that's what sports should be about in the first place. Doing something with good people that you love. Love Sika asked me, what's your favorite move in volleyball? My favorite move is the setter, dump, or setter attack on two. When you're able to get really effective at this, it keeps the blockers on the other side of the net guessing, and it makes your job running an offense so much easier. Because if the opposing blockers have to worry about you attacking on two and the other two options in the front row, it makes your job as a setter so much easier. Plus, it feels really good to score as a setter, because that doesn't happen a lot. Linda asked me how tall I am, and my height would be 6'3". I don't know what that is in centimeters, but if somebody down in the comments could let me know, that'd be great. This is a great question. Barrett asked, volleyball do and do nots for beginners. Something that you definitely should not do if you were just starting out volleyball is sending the volleyball immediately over the net, even if it's your first team's contact. This is something I see a lot of unexperienced players do, and let me tell you, as you get better and better at volleyball, this is a bad habit that definitely should be avoided. A volleyball do would be learning how to overhand serve as quickly as possible. There comes a point where the underhand serve is just no longer effective, so learning how to overhand serve would be great. And then the last volleyball do I would give you is focusing on learning how to pass. Passing is by far the most important skill in volleyball, and every position needs to know how to do it at one point or another. Another question we have is, what do you do post-match? After I'm done playing volleyball, my routine usually consists of eating, sleeping, stretching, and sleeping. It's super important to take proper care of your body, so if you need to ice, you should definitely ice. But yeah, I mainly like to go get a big meal and take a big nap. And I think we're gonna end on this question. What is your favorite part about playing volleyball? My favorite part about playing volleyball is how much of a team-oriented game it is. The saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link, pertains so well to the game of volleyball. To think that each player is only contacting the volleyball for a fraction of a second is something that just makes the game so much more beautiful to me. And plus, there's so many crazy things that you can do in volleyball. Some crazy plays, whether it comes to spikes, passes, sets. There's just so much fun in the game of volleyball, and that's why I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of the videos that YouTube thinks you should watch next. I'll see you in the next one.
Feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks.